Hi, so I'm making this video because I had such a hard time installing qiskit myself. So a little background first. I am not a physicist. I am not a computer scientist. I am a complete amateur, and so I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, all I do know is that I was able to install this and get it to work. So I thought I would just share my experience with maybe perhaps other amateurs out there. So the first thing you'll want to do is follow the instructions that you can get from IBM. So you'll go to their website, and they have the video on how to install qiskit, and you'll want to follow his instructions. But if you're old like me, you may be going a little too fast for you to follow. And also, I'm doing this on a PC, he's doing it on a Mac. And while it's very similar, there are some slight differences. I'm going to make another video showing how to do it on a Mac. So I'm going to follow along with what he does and then add the little things that I learned as well. So I'm going to pause it now, and I'm not going to make you listen to the entire video as I do it. I'm just going to give you the steps as I go through it. Now I am demoing this on a computer. It's completely fresh. The reason I'm using this computer, which I have not used in 6 months, is to make sure I'm doing it on a computer that has nothing previously installed. I'm running Windows 11 Pro. It's not an ancient computer, but it's also, there's nothing fancy about it. Huh, I'm surprised. I didn't realize I had put 32 gigabytes of RAM there. Okay, but anyway, so this is the computer I'm using. I am going to be assuming that you, like me, are not a complete newbie. If you have no idea what's going on, I'm not sure what you're doing installing qiskit anyway. But I'm also assuming that you are not an expert in anything as well. So the first thing we're told to install is miniconda. So this is going to give us Python. And if you're like me, you read and they talked a lot about setting up new Python environments. And I have programmed in Python, not much. I'm not an expert in anything. I was not familiar with Python environments, but what Python environments do is they allow you to basically have different, as far as I can tell, different almost installations of Python. So you can be running what you write in completely different environments and not have them corrupt each other. So we will be doing that as well. So the first thing we're going to do is to Google miniconda. And I'll go to miniconda, and I will go to installing miniconda, and I am on a PC, and I am going to download the exe installer. And I have 64-bit Windows. So I'll download it, paying attention to where it's saved. And then I will open it. And follow the installation prompts. I'm just going to follow all of its suggestions. Do I want anything here? No. Now, I do remember when I tried to install this on one of my other machines, I had some issues because I already had Python installed. My best advice, or the thing that worked for me, is I just Did I uninstall Python? Yeah, I just uninstalled it and just started fresh. Okay, so it says completed, so I'll do next. I don't need those, and finish. Okay, so now miniconda is installed. And then I believe he does something that is not necessarily going to work on the PC. Let me see what he does. Hold on. I'm having a memory of, on one of the computers I installed this on, having problems with permissions on the folder to where I installed it. I think it was a Mac, so I don't have anything to say about that here. Now, the next thing that he does is to open up a window, and when I saw that, I wasn't sure what he did, and so I just did what I would normally do on Windows, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want you to follow my steps. So I did not open up just a plain terminal, or I did, and then I did not see what he saw. What we want to open up is instead an Anaconda prompt, one of these two right here. If you don't see it on your recommended, it'll be on your list of programs. If you are just looking for if you just go through your apps and you look under miniconda, and you'd have an Anaconda prompt, Miniconda 3, or Anaconda PowerShell prompt. I'll do Anaconda PowerShell prompt right now, just to see. And then what he shows on his screen is this base right here, and that's what we needed. So that'll get it. If you just open up a terminal window on the Mac, it just automatically opens up to here. Don't know why, but here on the PC you had to choose that. So next, in the installing video, he creates a new environment, and he does it by opening up Visual Studio Code, which we have not installed yet. We don't need to install that to get the environment, and I'll show you how to make the environment. Oh, right, I just remembered another thing is it was hard to read the font, so I just increased the size of my font, so hopefully you'll be able to read it. So I'm doing an Anaconda PowerShell prompt. And I'm going to change the size of the font on it for you. Alright, and then I'm going to do conda create -- name. So conda create name -- and then I'm going to call it coding with conda CWC. Make sure that is correct.
And let's call this CWQ,
CWQ
for coding with
coding
qiskit,
with
and we'll create
sorry.
the environment.
CWQ, yes. Okay. CWQ. Argument is required. Did I put the -- in the wrong place? I'm terrible at following instructions. Yeah, it is -- name, not name -- Should I go back and edit this? Probably. Okay, so conda create -- name CWQ. Okay, so that was when I proceed. Yes. And it gives me this information on activating it. So I will activate it. So I will do what it says to do right here, conda activate CWQ. And now I can see I am in the CWQ environment. The next thing we need to do is to install pip. Conda will install other packages on its own, but by following the instructions that I'm getting from IBM, they're using pip to install, so we will use pip to install, but first we have to install pip. Conda install pip PID. And proceed, yes.
And then let it install whatever version happens to be uploaded at.
Now we're going to install some various other things that we need. The first thing we need, of course, is qiskit. So pip install qiskit, and I'll install a few other things. We'll install Jupyter, we'll install the qiskit runtime, matplotlib, just all the things that we're going to need. Don't be alarmed if it seems to just stall for a minute. It might take some time. So now I will do pip install Jupyter, J-U-P-Y-R, no, that's not it, G-Y-T, is that right? That is correct. So J-U-P-Y-T-E-R. So next we need matplotlib to install matplotlib. Okay, and we need qiskit IBM runtime. So pip install qiskit underscore IBM underscore runtime. And then we need pip install high latex ENC. I think that's correct. Let me double check. I cannot read that. High latex ENC. I think that's right. Okay, so the next thing we need is Visual Studio Code. Now I first was not paying attention and I installed Visual Studio because I've used Visual Studio before. I've never used Visual Studio Code, but we need Visual Studio Code. So just Google Visual, oh yeah, apparently you can Google Visual Studio Code if you want, but Visual Studio Code, and I will go to download. And Windows, and I'll save this, and I'll pause while it's downloading, and open it. And I enjoyed that in our IBM video they did tell us to read the license very carefully, as they would tell us to do at that time. and I'm sure Microsoft would tell us the same, so read it carefully. Let's see. I think I like all those things. I think I'll also create a desktop icon. Might add that too. That's just me. That's not necessary. And then I launched Visual Studio Code, and you will go to New File, and you will make a new Jupyter notebook, and we have to select the kernel, and we want to be able to select the environment that we created, and it does not show up right away, and I have to remember how to make it show up, so I'm going to pause while I remember how to do that. Oh, this is really big, so this is important. So when I install Visual Studio Code, so I've not done the environment yet. It's right here, it's telling me, do I want to install the recommended Python extension for the Python language? And the answer is yes, I do need to install that. Just in case that did not show up for you, let me show you how to install that extension, because you do need that extension. Over here, extensions. And we need the Python extension. It shows up as the #1 most popular one. That is the one that we want. So install. And it just tells me here it's installing. Open a Python project folder. I will do that. I need to create a folder. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'll call it qiskit. And I'll select that one. Don't need to save the untitled thing that I had. Oh yes, I do trust myself. Okay, so now I have my folder open, and I want to make a new file. I don't want that. I will file, new file, new Jupyter notebook. Correct. I want to select the kernel, and again, not showing up. So again, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to get there. Okay, so what I did, I'm still not there yet, but just step by step. What I did is I closed Visual Studio Code, and opened it back up. And this time, when I click on Select Kernel, it asks me if I want to install or enable suggested extensions, Python and Jupyter, and yes, I want to enable those. And it's doing that right there. So I thought it had installed it when I said to install. And now, when I go here, it says Python environments, and I click on Python environments, and there's the CWQ that I created. Yes, I want to allow access. And now it's showing CWQ, and now, if I am so lucky, I can copy and paste some stuff and see if it works. So I'm going to Google getting started with qiskit, and I want to get to the documentation page. Oh, okay. If you have not done this yet, before we go to the hello world, you will need to create an IBM account. And so from this page that I just went to, so I just did install qiskit, and then set up an IBM Quantum channel over here. There will be a link to IBM Quantum login page. And if you can create an ID here. So you would need to create an ID. I have an ID, so this is the one thing that I'm not doing fresh. So you will need to create your own ID. And with my 54 million factor authentication. I didn't get a code. Oh no, they emailed me the code. And then once you have that, you will have your API token that you can use. Okay, so I did that. Now I am going back to Hello World. And just want to see if things are working. So I'm going to copy this code. Go here. And paste it. Cross my fingers. And I wonder why it is taking this long. But it worked. There it is. Okay, so I got it installed. Alright, awesome. The thing I'm going to show you is that you will want to set up your channel here. And when you do that, it is I recommend doing the save account. So from this same page where I was before, docs.quantum.ibm.com, start, and then go to set up an IBM Quantum channel. It's right here to save account, so you copy that code, and I'm going to add a code window here. I'll put it in here, paste. I need to get my IBM Quantum API token. I just tried that a moment ago. It is right here. So I will copy that. I'll go here. I will put it in here. I need to take away the angle brackets, but leave the quotation marks and the cannoli. No one's going to steal my token. And I want it. And so now I'm all set. So now if I needed, now I'm good. So if I do the next step, I've got my channel set up.